Suswan, the Chairman, House Committee on Power, the representative of the Emir of Zazzau, Bardan Kudun Zazzau, other distinguished royal fathers here present, the Chief Whip of Kaduna State House of Assembly, representing the Assembly, representative of security agencies in the persons of the Assistant Commissioner of Police, SSS and other agencies, the representative of the Labor Union, NLC, and other unions, the chairpersons of the Customer Forum of NAC in Kaduna, other distinguished customers and stakeholders of Kaduna Electric, distinguished staff of Kaduna Electric, ladies and gentlemen, and members of the press, you are all welcome to this very important occasion. I would want to first of all start by thanking the Almighty Allah for allowing us to have this opportunity at this very opportune and blessed moment of today, Friday, at this hour. This is very important milestone. A lot of effort has been put in place before we came to where we are today. And I would want to single out the two chairmen of the two arms of the National Assembly for the work that they have done tirelessly in the last 6 months, together with their counterparts in the executive branch and our regulator, BPE, NAC, BPE, and all the other stakeholders to see to the resolutions of the issues in the electricity sector. The electricity sector, just like all other sectors in the country, is facing a lot of challenges, and ours is that of legacy issues that has been bedeviling the sector in the last 60 years. But what we are trying to do with these initiatives that are being promoted by all the stakeholders is to see how we will resolve and crack the intractable problem of electricity in our country, so that we would grow our economy, create jobs, and ensure that we have an economy that is working for everybody and everybody is happy with what is happening. This is not an easy task. It is something that needs the cooperation of everybody, the consumers, the service providers, the government, and everybody to ensure that this works. One of the things that government has done together with us is coming up with what we call the service reflective tariff. And what is service reflective tariff? Service reflective tariff means that we are going to provide you with qualitative service for a predictable and determined number of hours, during which you can organize your lives around what we provide for you, so that you can provide, you can do your economic activities and also have your livelihood in a predictable and orderly manner. And we do believe that by doing that, incrementally, we will be in a position whereby we would achieve 24 hours light, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So very soon, this is an aspiration that we would all work to make sure that we are achieving. We have what we call Band A, Band B, Band C, Band D, and Band E. And in doing this thing, we have to also recognize that for electricity is a product that has a cost. And in producing it, people invest. And for you to achieve the sustenance of this product, there has to be payment for it to work. If people are not paid, then it is impossible to sustain the production and distribution of electricity. And this payment starts from the upstream, from the gas producers. Most of our electricity sources comes from the thermal power. And there are people who are producing the gas and they expect to be paid. There are generators who expect to be paid. There are also market service providers like TCN and others and who are providing ancillary services. We have to pay for them, and then we also have us who are distributing to our customers. If we are not paid, we cannot pay the upstream, and if the upstream is not paid, the service cannot be provided. It is not the distribution company that arbitrarily set the tariff for the cost of electricity. A lot of work is being done, and we have an independent regulator who is an arbiter, who balances the interests of all the stakeholders, including consumers, to ensure that everybody's interest is protected, and then you have a fair price. Therefore, we have to understand that government's resources is limited. Government is confronted by a lot of challenges. We have security challenges. We have to provide, or government has to provide, social services in the form of education and health. And the resources is completely limited. And therefore, it is as a result of this that government decided to privatize the electricity sectors. And by privatizing, we who are private entrepreneurs, we came into the sector in the expectation that we would bring efficiency into the service of the provision of electricity, and at the same time, at the end of it all, we would also have a reasonable return. Therefore, it is important for all of us to understand that there have been a seismic shift from government provision of these services to private-led initiative. And therefore, we have to pay for the provision of service. Electricity is no more different from telecommunication services. It's no more different from the bread that you buy in the market. The analogy is the same. And therefore, what we are expecting from everybody is to make sure that they play their own part. And if everybody is playing their own part, we would reach where we are expecting in the next few years. We cannot start everything and we cannot achieve everything in one day, but incrementally we can achieve that. Today, those who are in Band 1 can attest to the fact that they are having service of uninterrupted power of at least 20 hours in a day. In some cases, you have 2 days without any blink in your light. And this is where we are hoping that we would migrate everybody to. Again, government is also very conscious of what it's doing. It understands that there are certain segments of society that cannot have power 24 hours a day. Those are the people in Band D and Band E. And I believe that my brother, the chairman, House Committee, recently alluded to those people, saying that they are being deprived of power. They are not being deprived of power. Like he knows, there is the REA, which is the Rural Electrification Agency. And one of the things that they are trying to do is to ensure that they provide what they call mini-grid and micro-grid in those areas, so that every citizen would have access to power. Even within our own franchise area, one of the things that we are doing together with our partners, Connexa, is to make sure that we provide a stand-alone system to areas that cannot be covered by the network. Because there are certain areas that doesn't make economic sense for you to extend your network. And because resources are limited, you have to optimize deployment of your resources. And in optimizing the deployment of your resources, you deploy it to areas that you can achieve almost 100% coverage and recovery, so that from what you recover, you now go to other areas that are underserved. So this is what we are doing, and this I'm using this opportunity to let everybody understand that working together with the government, everybody would soon have some coverage in terms of access to power, either in the form of solar renewable power or grid extension. But what we are committed to do in Kaduna Electric is, one, to make sure that all the 3 bands, or all the bands are provided service according to what they are supposed to get. And we want to make sure that we continue to maintain our network. But all these things would not be possible if we don't pay our bills. It's impossible for us to sustain service without payment. And what we want our customers and consumers to help us do is not only to pay their own bill, but to ensure that people who are stealing power are reported to the agencies. Because if your neighbor is stealing power and you don't report to either our staff or to the agencies, what you are actually doing, you are shortchanging yourself. And again, because government is also committed to ensuring that people are not billed arbitrarily, and we also don't want to do that. That is why the federal government has now come up with this program, working together with us, under an initiative that is being promoted by the CBN, where we are going to borrow money to make sure that we must meter everybody who is in our franchise area. Unlike what we used to have before, where you have to pay upfront to get your meter, what we are now going to do is everybody would be metered gradually based on enumeration that we have done until we cover everybody. So that what you actually pay for is the energy that you consume. You pay for what you get, and then we make sure that we give you what you pay for. This is the scheme that we are launching today. And like I said, people from the National Assembly, represented by both the chairman of the House and the Senate, are here to witness this thing because they've worked in ensuring that this thing happen. Therefore, I am calling on all of our customers to cooperate with us, to work with us, and to cooperate with our staff during the deployment of this meter. This is an important initiative of the President Buhari administration in ensuring that there is fairness and service is provided to all our citizens. And we hope that labor and other union and everybody is going to cooperate to ensure that we achieve this. As we commence on this thing, my task is a very simple one, which is to welcome you. I want to welcome all our distinguished guests, and I hope that this will be a productive event, and we thank you and God bless you.